These are your instructions for creating the shading in the wall and adding a roof to your design. So this is task, I think 3 or so. I think for doing the shading, and the other for adding the roof. All right, so we're going to first we'll need to edit the wall. So each one of the walls you have to do it individually. You have to do the exterior walls, and then you have to do the interior walls as far as is doing the shading. All right, so we're gonna click on the wall, and we're going to edit type, and you're gonna get a dialog box and such. And so we're gonna edit, and then this particular one is set at 8 inches. So what we're gonna do, actually right here, we're gonna change this to 1, and we're gonna insert a layer or 2. All right, so 1 is gonna be finished. In fact, we need to move them up. So the clapboard setting is going to be a finish, and this top one is going to be a finish as well. All right, so the middle one is here. This one is going to be the structure, so this is going to be our stud wall. So we're going to click on that, and you're going to get this dialog box, and we're just going to simply search. So we're just going to choose metal stud. You can use a different thing if you want. Well, no, if you have wood stud, but you don't have that in there. So just use metal stud layer. That'll be fine. And we're going to go to the cut pattern. All right, so on our cut pattern, it's going to be solid. And we're going to do both the foreground and the background. And we're going to change both of them to gray. All right. So we don't need any foreground pattern or anything like that. So that part is fine. We're going to hit apply. And since the clapboard siding was already set, we don't have to necessarily fool with that. All right, so here we're just going to change this to 5.5 inches, which is 5.5, which is the size of a 6-inch stud. And this finish on the inside is going to be gypsum board. So we're going to do GYP, which is just another name for drywall. All right, so we don't have to worry about a cut pattern or anything on this. It already has like a surface pattern, so we don't really worry about that one. We just need to set the size of it, which is a 1/2 inch. So the overall thickness of our walls is 7 inches. So if you look right there, it'll tell you how thick the walls are. So technically on the exterior, we do actually need another layer, which is our wall sheathing. So this is going to be a substrate. And I am going to move this. Actually, we need to reverse this. This finish right here actually needs to go up top. And we're going to put it above the core boundary. All right, in the drywall, the gypsum board actually goes at the bottom. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to move this one down below the core boundary. And this substrate here, this is going to be our sheathing. I'm going to move it up 1 layer. And then I'm going to change this to plywood. And I'm going to set the plywood to 5/8 of an inch. So we have our layers. We should have our layers. We got the finish on the exterior, which is a clapboard siding. We got our substrate of sheathing. We got our metal stud layer, and we got our gypsum board. All right, so we're gonna hit OK. And then we're gonna come back onto this screen, and we got to change it here as well. So under the coarse scale fill pattern, we're gonna change that to solid, and we're gonna change the color to gray. And we're gonna hit apply. And we're gonna hit OK. So now you see all the exterior walls change to gray. Now the interior ones gonna be a little bit more simpler. We're gonna do the same steps, but we don't have to add really too much to it. So we're gonna add a couple of layers. All right, so the middle one, we're gonna move one up. All right, so let's see, we're gonna move this above. I did the wrong thing. Let me delete that one. This should go up, and this one's gonna go down. All right, so the interior side is gonna be our gypsum board. And so is the top one. And both of them will be a 1/2 inch. It's quicker to put 0.5. That one actually did 5. So it's easier to do 0.5. All right, so now our middle one is gonna be a stud layer as well. And we're gonna change these. These are not gonna be structural. At least the top and the bottom one won't. They're gonna be finishes. So finish there. And we're gonna have a finish here as well. All right, and this is gonna be a structural in the middle because it's gonna be a stud. So we're gonna do stud. Not stud. So we're gonna choose metal stud. And we're going to do 3.5 inches because a 2x4 technically is not a 2x4. It's really 1.5 by 3.5. All right, so we're going to do OK. Oh, we forgot something. We forgot the cut pattern. Hit the wrong thing. Yeah, it looks like it's already set. It looks like they're already set. And I think it's because I chose the metal stud layer. So it already set them. All right, we hit OK. Hit apply, hit OK. And we're going to hit OK again. And we're going to come out here and change this. Solid. Gray. And I'm going to hit apply. So once you hit apply, you should see them pop up underneath your dialog box here. All right, so that is changing out a wall post. So we're going to make that's task number 7. So we can delete that task. So once you're done with the task, you can just delete it off. All right. So now, putting on the roof. All right, so the roof is a little bit tricky. At first I told you to do a gable, but we're not going to do the gable. We're going to do a different kind of roof. So we're going to go to our roof layer, which is really top of the wall. So we're going to go here, and we're going to add what's called a shed roof to this. All right, so theoretically, we probably could get away with doing it by editing this roof but it doesn't always work out right. So um, we can try it and see how it works. But at the same time, it might be easier just to do this other technique, which is called roof by extrusion. And we're going to do that from the left side. So we need that little roof to kind of come off of here and then slope down. So I'm going to do a roof by extrusion to do it. So I'm going to go to roof, hit the drop down. I'm going to choose roof by extrusion, and it's going to ask me to pick a plane. I'm going to pick this plane because it makes the more sense. And top of wall, yep, that's the right one. And I'm just going to simply use the top line here. And I'm going to kind of draw that roof out at an angle. I'm going to try to keep it even with this one as much as possible, because once it generates the roof, I want all of the gutters and everything to kind of be on the same level, so I don't have to do too much adjustment. All right, so once I kind of got it where I think it should go, I can always make an adjustment, and I can hit the check mark, and it looks like it probably is about where it needs to be. So once I put the gutter on there, it should line up pretty good. And the good thing is that we can probably do some minor adjustments as compared to major adjustments from before. All right, so the minor adjustments we have to do really is just to grab this and pull it back across over to the edge as much as we can without coming outside. I think that might actually be perfect. All right, now if you notice that we have shingles on the edges of the roof, and technically that don't really go like that. And I probably should pick a different plane here for this. And I think I need to pick the one on the inside. But you know what? We don't even worry about that. All right. So I will have to delete these gutters here, because right now I have a piece of a roof that's kind of hanging on the inside here, and I don't need it to hang. And this is actually pretty good the way it worked out. Now, if I had to do it over again, what I would do, I would delete all of the fascias first. But I'll go ahead and do that now. And then I can just put the fascia boards back in again. All right. So I think this has like a slight offset to it. So let's see if I can edit the work plane and maybe pick this one. Not sure if that's going to work or not. But I might be able to just adjust it just a smidge. Oh, that might work out even better. I think that'll work. And we can always use the line tool. So if you go to modify and then click on a line, you pick this face, then pick this one. It should align them pretty well. All right, and then we're gonna cut that little piece out the bottom there. So I discovered a little way to do that without stressing too much, and it's really to turn this into a wireframe so I can see it. And we're gonna do this from the top, probably from our top of wall layer, not on the ceiling. but right there. All right, so this roof that's right in here, that's the part we really need to cut off. So the trick that I found was to use a vertical opening. So I'm going to utilize that instead. So I'm gonna try this, and I'm going to see if that's gonna work for me. So let's see. All right, so select floor, roof. Let's see. So this is my roof, and I'm gonna choose a rectangle. I'm gonna go from like this edge right here, just to see how this is gonna work out, and see if I can cover my overhang. I think I'll stop about right there. I can always adjust it if that's not good. So I'm gonna hit OK, and I'm gonna see what that did by looking at it in a 3D view. And I'll shade it. Turn the shading back on because it's fascinating as that look. It's also very confusing. And I think I cut the wrong one. Yeah, I think I cut a hole in the wrong one. We're gonna see when I shade it. Yep, I did. Well, actually, I cut two. Well, no, I didn't cut the wrong one. I think I cut it too much. So let's pull this back a little bit. Let's see how that works. Just a little bit more. Maybe even with that. It's slightly off, but not that bad. So I think if I join the two roofs together, oh, I do need to change this one though. I think I cut too much over into that one. So I'm gonna pull this back a little. Just a little bit more. So it's a matter of just kind of playing with it a little bit. There we go. That's perfect. All right. And then we can always attach the wall to the roof here. But what I want to do is see if I can actually join these two together. All right. It kind of joined. But for our purpose of this exercise, oh, it's offset a little bit. That's why. I'm going to undo that. All right, so we're right at 20 minutes. So let's see, can we kind of move this down just a smidge? So I'm going to go to my left. Okay, so I'm going to just nudge it down a little bit. And then see if I can join these two together. What if I join? And I'm going to select this one, and then I'm going to select this one. So just a tad bit of some stuff I don't need on it, but not that bad. All right. I think I got a little piece left over there, but I don't think we can see it from the front. All right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is just attach this to the top base. If I can grab it. There we go. Yeah, okay, so that'll close that up. If I figure out how to get rid of that piece, then we'll be in there. Oh. Well, we may just be able to just pull it back. That might actually work too. A little bit too far. No, it is too far. See if we can just put it right on the edge. See what that do. And that, I think, did it. It did it enough. All right, so we'll just attach top base there to fill that in. And I think that'll really do it. So now your next step is just to go around and put your fascia board and your gutters back on. So you just simply do that by going to a roof, architecture, roof. And chain these all the way around the building. And I think that's it. All right, so I noticed my building is turned gray. So that's something I need to check out to see what's going on here. All right, so I'm going to edit this. And I think the problem may be that my siding, oh, my siding's fine. I'm not sure why it's not showing up like it did before. It may be a pattern thing. Oh, because it's gray. All right, and we didn't have use render appearance. All right, so that's it there. 255 is really a color that can't be seen. So we're gonna see how that works. All right. So our lines disappeared, but that's all right for right now. All right. Also, we need to make sure we close up all the gaps if we have any. All right. So that wasn't a gap. All right. So that's pretty much it. So we're at 24 minutes now. So once you put your column posts in, your column posts will go here to the edge. So if you go to architecture and then component, column, and I don't think I have any in here, so we're gonna edit type, duplicate. We're gonna do 6x6, 6x6 wood. So I'm gonna do cherry. And I'm just going to change these, each one of them to 6, which had my width and my depth. both to 6. Let me hit OK. Then I'm just going to place one there. And you should have adjusted this over already. So it's going to be another one right there and one maybe right there. So on your column post, there's 3 of them. And you should have adjusted the opening of the railing already. And you'll just put these at the edge of the railing. And that's it for that part.